Welcome back to everybody's favorite game show before the podcast starts.
No.
We're gonna give Mike.
WebMD.
We're gonna give Mike a Gen Alpha term.
Okay.
And see if he can guess what it is. Maybe this will go for anybody in the room.
I think you made up the last one.
No, I did not. The Gen Alpha term is aura. Aura. It's been a big thing recently.
A-U-R-A?
A-U-R-A. Aura.
Oh,
I'm assuming you mean not as the actual word means?
That's the term. The term is aura.
But there's also a word called aura.
Yeah. Someone's aura. I mean, I know the
what is
like
it?
their vibe.
Yeah, their vibe.
That's accurate. We'll take it.
Color.
Yeah.
That's just the meaning
like,
of
that's
the
just
word.
the word.
I know,
Yeah.
but they're bringing it back like oh, dude.
Hey, that word never went away. It's been in the dictionary.
Jackson Dart has so much aura. You know,
Yeah,
like,
but
you
that
know,
word,
he's
that-
like a.
You
He's
can't
like,
reclaim a word that's already a word.
Yeah, Gen
Yeah,
Alpha.
Gen Alpha.
They can't.
I'm not inviting anybody to
That's
my
dumb.
wedding.
Aura is purple.
Welcome everybody to Bad Potato Salad, the show where Michael Travers and I accost random strangers on the internet. That's right. Michael Travers and I are professional comedians. We travel around the country doing comedy professionally. When we don't do that, we take time out of our day to judge random internet strangers in our basement. If you're new to the show, here's not our basement. We don't live together. My basement.
We should.
Here's how the show works. Our beautiful wives are just two headlines they find across Reddit. Mike and I choose which one we think will be the funniest to blind react to. Then we blind react that story. Again, disclaimer, we're not actually trying to help people. This is just for laughs and your entertainment. If we say something inappropriate, that was on purpose. And it was for fun. I think that if you're new here, listen to the show, then rate, review, and subscribe. If you're not new here, rate, review, and subscribe right now before we start. Who's my co-host? Mike Travers.
Yeah. And also send in stories if you...
Good call.
Yes,
Thank you.
please.
Good call.
Yeah, if you have a story that you want to share.
And or like especially because Spotify's getting a lot of comments right now. Just tell us like the state you're listening from, because we are getting a lot of traction on Spotify, and we would love to do a live show, and we want to know where most of our fan base is so that we can come by or listeners. Podcast. Bad Potato Salad community.
Yeah.
Because I won't fans of us. No one's a fan of us, but like like podcast community who reads us those stories. That would be our beautiful wives. They look even more beautiful in person. So there you go, Ken and Alana.
Unbelievable.
Who wants to see us live, Lana?
Yeah. I do.
Alana, this would be the best thing about this. If you watch this on YouTube, you know how awkward my wife is. She gets a lot of stage fright, so seeing her on stage.
Don't like being in front of crowds.
Oh.
Well, good news, we don't have that many fans.
That's true.
Alana will sit like behind a curtain off stage.
Like the Wizard of Oz. Follow the yellow brick road. And she'll be like, am I the asshole from behind a curtain?
I don't like being in crowds so much that I had a panic attack before I walked down the aisle because of all the people I knew would be looking at me.
Oh, they weren't looking at you.
Turn
They were looking
around.
at
I got so scared.
My favorite thing about our wedding was we were standing, because it was an outdoor wedding, so like I had to face away from her as she walked down the aisle, and my preacher looked at me, he's like, I know you're gonna be thinking it, but when she gets up here, before I say anything, just tell her she looks beautiful. And he was like, because just a great way to start the day. And he was like, because I don't know how long it takes them to forget that you didn't do that, but I've been married for 36 years, so I know it's longer than that.
That's so funny.
He was the best. He was the best. He's moving to England. He got a job over there, yeah. I guess they have God
Good
over
for
there.
him.
Turns out.
Yeah.
Turns out God is in England as well.
And in your heart.
And the Pope is in America.
Wait, it was a prisoner swap.
And his name's Bob. Bob the
Bob.
Pope. Pope Bob.
That's
Chuck
hilarious.
Smith.
That's awesome.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Am I the asshole for grounding my stepdaughter for selling my formal dress? Or am I the asshole for telling a cashier that was not that girl's credit card?
Ooh. I love a good identity theft situation.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Oh.
Bring it.
Anybody ever been scammed before?
I was in a cover band called Identity Theft.
No, you weren't.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah, he
It's a
was.
Great band name for a cover band.
Yeah.
Identity Theft.
So we have a really
Terrible
ridiculous...
band. No, they were a good band. Terrible.
They were a
singer.
good band.
Terrible singer.
That was you, baby.
I know.
Michael sing during the live shows if you come.
Yes,
do.
you will.
I do.
All right. You ready?
Yes.
Let's do it.
Am I the asshole for telling a cashier that...
That was not that girl's credit card.
Yeah, I know. It's
Try
just
it
worded
again.
weird. Sorry. Am I the asshole for telling a cashier that that was not the girl's credit card. Sorry, there's a word missing. Threw me off. Throwaway because husband told me
It's
I
her
was...
throwaway account. It's not her real account.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's okay.
Throwaway because husband told me I was the asshole. I want to know before I get home and argue.
So we already know that
Yeah.
the husband is on the
Yes.
asshole side.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good background.
So I was in a higher end department store today. Rhymes with looming tails.
I wonder what it could be. Lululemon's
Nice.
probably.
Definitely not
Why
Bloomingdale's.
can't she say Bloomingdale's?
I know. I wondered the same thing.
And happened to end up next to two teenage girls while shopping. One of the girls had picked out a pair of very expensive boots, and they were both fawning over them. Second girl must have looked at the price tag and asked Boots Girl if she's really going to spend that much on the boots.
Boots girl.
Girl with the boots says something along the lines of, "It's fine. I have my dad's credit card. I'm not paying for it." Which instantly caught my attention because that's not her card.
Very observant.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've told my
Gave it
son I've told my son multiple times he's never allowed to use my card, so I'm interested to see how this girl thinks she's going to get away with fraud. But had split up from the girls at this point because they had found something else.
Okay.
This person's dramatic.
Yeah. Very.
Nebby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nebby.
Wait, did you say Nevi?
Nebby.
Oh, I thought you said Nevi.
Nebby.
I was like, I don't know Nevi.
Nebby.
Nebby.
Okay, Nevi,
It's a
Nevi.
new Gen A term.
Nebby,
You don't
Nebby.
know.
Yeah.
Nebby. We're going to
Loser.
start it.
Get in, loser. We're going shopping with my dad's card.
We end up at the same register, and I see her total hit well over 4 digits. The girl is about to swipe her card when I decide that I cannot let her get away with something like this, and someone has to parent this kid if no one else will. I tell Cashier that this is not her card, but her father's, and I'm not sure she has permission.
And the cashier's like, I get commission.
Right.
I don't give a
Wait, how old is she?
Doesn't say. Oh, how old's the
lady-
girl?
The lady?
Yeah,
doesn't
doesn't
say,
say.
I don't think.
Joey.
Insane.
Babe, she almost knocked that camera over.
It's fine.
Girl and friend turn and glare at me, giving me possibly the dirtiest looks I've ever seen. And I swear this girl was going to throw a tantrum right there, but I don't think she was ever told no.
Especially by a stranger who's not minding her own business.
Right.
Girl tells Cashier her father gave her the card to shop with because it's the store's credit card and it gives him the points.
Of course.
Now that I've pointed out it was not hers, Cashier tells her she can't use that card.
Oh.
So the girl tries to show the ID to prove they have the same last name, and I tell her it's still fraud. She says it's not fraud because she has permission, tells me to mind my own business. And I tell her that it is my business, that she's doing something illegal. She needs to pay with her own card or I'll call the cops. So she's now pissed and people are glaring at me and she uses her own card and leaves crying. And the cashier looks mad at me and I tell my husband when I get home, only for him to agree I was in the wrong. So am I the asshole?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. There's no question.
Yeah.
Like,
You're not
That-
just
What's
the
it
asshole,
even
you're
matter? Mind
awful.
your
You
business.
are an asshole.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
you're
do.
not just an asshole in this situation. You sound like you're an asshole.
Yeah, you sound like you suck.
The thing is, like, her dad definitely gave her that credit card.
100%.
He knew she had it. She didn't steal it from her. And if she's spending 4 digits on boots, the dad has money. Because that wasn't even a thought that, like, oh, this could
Right.
register to him as, like, why did you spend that much? Like, and who cares if she's a spoiled kid?
Yeah.
If
It's
you
not
your
have a
kid.
kid to spoil and you have the money and the means
Yeah.
to do it, you can't tell somebody how to parent when you're not in their financial situation.
Yeah. So this is just her friend? Like, how old are they?
No. This was another
no,
girl,
a
another
stranger.
lady. Another lady heard them saying, like, "You're gonna." She's like, "It's
Oh
fine.
my
I have my
God.
dad's."
She wasn't
credit
even
card."
with her.
No.
Thing.
I don't know how I missed. Like, yeah, that's insane.
This woman was shopping in Bloomingdale's and she saw 2 teenage girls.
Well, we don't know it's Bloomingdale's.
It rhymes with
Bloomingdale's.
Looming tails.
what?
Could
a
you
Karen.
imagine?
Yeah, total stranger.
That's insane.
The balls to have to say something like that and then be like,
Double down.
"Am I the asshole? My husband seems to think I am."
Right.
Everybody thinks you are, Karen.
Yeah, definitely a
Everybody
Karen.
thinks you are.
Imagine that. Like, because she was like, "I'll call the cops." It's cool. Now my dad has to bail me out of jail. That's $4,000 more.
Then the cops are going to hate you. Everybody that was involved in this transaction.
What do you think the cops
hate
would
you.
say
Right.
if they showed up there and they're like, "Can we call your dad?" And her dad's like, "Yeah, I gave her the card.
Yeah.
I can't talk right now. I'm on my private jet."
Yeah.
What did she spend? They're like $4,000. Like, who
That's
gives a
it?
shit?
Yeah.
For boots, that's it. She got cheap ones. Okay.
Yeah.
What are you calling me for?
Yeah. You know it snows once a year in Nashville, sweetheart. You got, man, that is. I couldn't even imagine. First off, I couldn't even imagine being in someone's situation like that. Like being in some like butting myself into someone's
why?
situation like that.
What's the point?
Like if and now here's a situation where she wouldn't have been the asshole. If the girls found the card on the ground
Like
and
a
they're like,
stolen
we're going to
card.
use this card to buy boots. She's like, this is my dad's card. He knows I have it.
She had her license with the same last name.
Right.
Yeah.
And you could, like you said before, you were like, oh, the cashier probably gets commission. And then she said the cashier looked annoyed too, because she probably was like,
Well, the cashier just doesn't want to deal with it,
Well,
even if she doesn't get
of
commission.
course.
Like, what was that lady's point? She thought like either the husband or the father was going to be like, "Thank you so much," or Bloomingdale's going to be like, "Wow, we have." Well, I don't know how to thank you
We
for
saved you, saved
yeah,
us.
right,
Yeah.
for not
The other
letting
thing,
us sell merchandise.
yeah, boots. Yeah,
Yeah, thank you.
The other thing too is it was a credit card,
yeah,
and if her dad was truly upset about the purchase,
we could return the boots.
could have returned the boots.
Yeah.
That is not your position to parent.
Not at all.
It's not your position to even be in that conversation, and I don't see a way that I'm really concerned that she thinks that she's somehow in the right in this.
Oh, for sure. I think she's surprised that there was pushback.
Yeah.
I think she thought she was going to be the hero in this story, from everybody. Like when she first said it, when she told her husband, I thought she was, and nobody's going to agree with that.
No.
It's just, you're an idiot.
Yeah,
Like,
the
you're
Bloomingdale,
it's none of your business.
100%. The Bloomingdale employee would have been like, "Let me carry your bags out to your car, you hero." Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So, yeah, sorry, you're the asshole.
Not sorry.
Yeah.
Not sorry.
at all. The way
You're
you
the
acted,
asshole.
you couldn't have been more of the asshole.
Couldn't have
Yeah.
been more.
The only way you could have been more of the asshole is like, no one's teaching her discipline. I'm gonna spank this child.
And I grounded her for 2 weeks.
Man, I just can't even imagine the gall of some people
Yeah.
to just not mind their own fucking business sometimes.
Wild.
Like,
I hated the fact that this, however, 16-year-old
Yeah,
is getting
that's a good
$4,000
point.
boots.
Entitled, probably.
Yeah.
Jealous. Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying like, usually when kids are raised with a lot of money like that, they're not the easiest people to talk to
Right.
sometimes because they're entitled.
your
But like,
problem, yeah.
it's not your problem at all. I always go back to it, and I'm not saying he's a good person. I'm not saying he's a bad person. But I always say like Justin Bieber like acted out for a number of years, like when he was 18, 19, 20 years old, and I literally said, like, if I had $110 million when I was
Exactly.
18 years old, I'd have probably been a dick too.
Yeah, I think we're
So
going to
what-
find a lot more about Justin. I think
Same
Yeah,
with this
that's
I think
drop.
this whole Diddy thing is going to
Yeah.
be.
Also,
He's,
Derek, you don't have $110
ugly.
million. What's your excuse now?
Yeah.
Just a dick.
Yeah. Just for dick's reasons.
Just to be a dick.
I'm a nice person, I think.
I'm kidding. You are a very nice person.
Thank you. Lon, what do you think?
most of the time.
Great answer.
Not today, though.
Great answer. Great answer.
Today's to be determined.
Yeah. It's late in the day.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
going to go to bed soon.
That's true.
Let's go. All right. Are we ready?
Yeah.
Ready. Bring it.
Good story, though.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Got us fired up.
Thank you. Am I the asshole for blowing up at my sister for naming her daughter after a fungal infection?
You know, my daughter Yeast.
Yeah. What is the fungal infection?
Well, we'll find out if we read
Not
the story.
yeast.
We'll find out if we read the story.
Or am I the asshole for how I told my brother's girlfriend that sperm does not help with acne?
Well,
We don't want that to get out.
it's going to ruin our cover. Wait. Okay. These are both great
I
stories.
know, that's- yeah.
These are both great stories.
They're both interesting and ridiculous.
I'm going to ask a question.
Go ahead.
Because I think the sperm one is probably funnier.
Yeah, probably.
But if we choose the sperm one, I do need to know the name of the fungal infection that she chose.
Okay, I can tell you that.
What do you think?
I was looking up fungals.
I was like, yeah, Mike's been on his phone a lot tonight.
I know,
tried
he's
I was
to-
looking up fungal infections.
So Kendall has agreed
Yeah.
if we choose the sperm one, she will tell us what fungal
Yeah, I will, because
infection
it's
it
not
was.
a
All
name
right,
you
let's
would
do
ever.
that one then.
What, the sperm one?
Yeah.
Okay, this is absurd.
Okay, but tell us
What
the name
was
of the
the
fungal
Oh, wait.
infection.
Okay, I will. Hold on. I got to get there.
Yeah, I was trying to look up names.
It's not something I had ever heard of. And
Ashley's a fungal.
Histoplasmosis.
it's Alana.
It's a lot. You should have seen her face.
I'm just teasing.
My name is Gaelic Irish. It's
Yeah,
not fungal.
for foot
Not
fungus.
Okay, the
Ringworm.
Ringworm.
The name of the fungal infection is Malassezia.
Molasses, yeah.
That's not even a good name for a person.
It's not. Malassezia.
I feel like we're at a spelling bee.
Yeah,
here.
yeah. Ding.
Yeah.
That feels like her
say the
mom
word.
pulled a lot of Scrabble letters out and she's like, we got to make a word with this.
Why did she want to name her after that?
The gist of it is that the sister sent her a bunch of baby names as a joke.
Oh, funny.
Like some of them being very obvious, like hernia and Viagra and whatever. And then she included this one, and the sister was like,
Oh my God,
I actually like that. And she was like, you're insane. Like, why
That's
would you do that?
So funny. All right. Now the sperm. and the acne.
Malassezia.
Malassezia.
Okay.
yeah.
This is interesting and hysterical to me. It did not have an NSFW on it, but like if we're talking about that, I feel like it needs to.
Okay. Hey, welcome. We are
less.
using our own judgment here to save your
We are.
ears at work.
We are.
If you are here right now and you're listening at work, please take a moment. Pause this podcast or skip to the next story. We include timestamps every week, so you can skip to the next story if you need to and revisit this one in your car. Or you can stop being a bitch and quit your job, because we're about to enter a sperm not safe for work portion of the internet. Welcome back to this portion of the internet that may or may not be safe for work, and also welcome to this day spa we're about to tell you about.
We are.
Ew.
My NSFW like thinking is like if I wouldn't want my niece to hear it without a warning of
Yeah,
like it's
that's
a
fair.
little bit adult, I feel like that counts. And
That's
I feel
fair.
like this counts. Okay.
So if you're Kendall's niece right now, please skip to this next
I'll
story.
tell her, Addie, don't listen. Okay. Am I the asshole for how I told my brother's girlfriend that sperm does not help with acne? All right.
She comes out, she's like, are you serious?
Now you tell me. Yeah, great.
Oh my God. Okay. Me, 37.
At least it's good for you to eat.
That's pineapples.
Me, 37 male, and my brother Hank, 34 male, are medical doctors.
It's a name it's not used enough.
Hank,
Especially as a medical doctor.
Yeah.
I don't
Dr.
trust
Hank.
I don't trust Hank the medical professional.
Dr. Hank? Yeah.
oh, you're going to trust him even less after this. Okay.
Give us Dr. Hank.
My pet peeve is medical misinformation. So when I hear it, I'm very quick to call it out. My brother's girlfriend, Jane, 25 female, is kind, empathetic, and a successful woman, but she's not an academic. It's a slight dig. It's a
Yeah.
slight dig.
Yeah. She's
Right?
street smart,
Saying
not
she's
book
like
smart.
not smart.
Yeah.
She's not as smart as me and Hank.
Yeah.
The
Dr.
three of
Hank.
us, what'd you say?
Dr. Hank.
Doctor, sorry. The three of us plus my wife, Kelsey, who's 39 female, were hanging out, and Jane mentioned something about sperm helping with acne. And without thinking, I immediately told her that that's a myth.
And
it's,
Hank's like, shut your
it's probably still popular because guys use that as a way to trick women. My mind was not thinking about Jane's adult acne until after I said that. Jane turned to Hank and asked him about why did he tell her that sperm helps with acne. And Hank said he was joking when he told her. Jane got very uncomfortable and wanted to leave, and she'd been drinking, so my wife offered to drive her home. And Hank then started asking me, why did I say that to his girlfriend in such a way? And I was like, you shouldn't have told her that. And he said, oh, it was just a joke. And I said, if so many people believe medical information from influencers on Instagram and TikTok, imagine how people will accept medical misinformation from a doctor. And he said that the way that I said it made it seem like he was lying to her. So am I the asshole?
I'm sure she's not going around to her friends and be like, you're not going to believe this. My boyfriend's a doctor, and guess what? I can clean up that pimple for you.
Well, here's the only bad part about it is that, because like he misleads her with that, it gets away from like, the true benefits of it, like from like swallowing it and like it's like really good for you.
Yeah.
And
Right.
like, and so I don't want that to get
Youthfulness.
lost in this message is how good it is for you.
Is that why you look so good?
Not me. I mean, it's fine. Like Kendall.
Mike, your skin looks glowing tonight. What have you been doing?
That's weird.
Must be the lighting. Must be the lighting.
I don't know what that is.
That's hilarious that she fell for it.
Can I add 2 things to this?
You can add
because
3
there's
things
like
to
2 edits, and I just want to put them in here.
Apparently, anal doesn't do it either. I don't know what to believe
What?
anymore.
Okay,
Anal doesn't help rickets.
okay, they are both dermatologists,
It's so funny.
and the vast majority of Hank's patients are women in their 20s and 30s. And then this person said, as I think about it, the vast majority of the women that he's dated are the same age and also had adult acne.
It was a little shocking that there was a pretty decent age gap there for Hank because he was 39.
Hank is 34, Jane's
Okay,
25.
okay, sorry. I thought.
Yeah, I did say 39 because the other guy's wife
Yeah,
is.
okay,
But
yep.
wait, the second edit was that my brother has told other patients to have their boyfriends do it too. Oh. Yeah, and
Hank's a fun doctor.
He is a fun doctor.
I'm gonna write a prescription.
Yeah, if you came home from your dermatologist saying, "Hey, the doctor said you should do that on my face," I'd be like, "Wow, you should."
That was worth the copay.
Yeah,
That was worth
right.
the copay.
Great
so
doctor.
That was worth the copay.
first of all, the guy that wrote this said he's going to report his brother.
Yeah, like
Wait, it's his
this is-
brother-in-law or brother?
No, brother.
His brother. He said, as I realize how that he's doing this and he's saying this to lots of people, I realize I have to report him.
If you say it to your partner,
Right.
it's one thing.
Yeah.
It's not right.
As
but
a
it's,
joke.
But yeah,
Right,
but it's
right.
not it's not
Playful,
right, but it's
right.
one thing to say it to. But if you're saying this to
Right.
other people as medical advice,
Doctor.
yeah, that's illegal. You can't do that.
That's like
But go ahead.
some kind of form of sexual abuse. I don't know. That's weird.
Yeah.
It is
Don't
weird.
I mean
I had my
so
accountant tell me that one year that the taxes like that you can.
can't get audited if you have
Yeah,
scalp.
right. Yes,
if
that's
you
on
cover your face
Yeah.
in sperm.
But I don't know that that's true now. Like that's starting to seem like
Starting to think that was a lie. I got audited.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
that is wildly inappropriate.
Yeah, it's super inappropriate. There's no doubt about that. But we also don't know. He may have a study.
Yeah, that's true. I'm assuming it's not true, like, but it could be.
It could be kind of true.
Okay, to be fair,
It probably doesn't help with adult acne, but it could be.
There's only one way to find out. Let's do a study.
yeah.
Let's have
to
a
be
control
fair, I
group.
didn't do any Google research.
You should
gonna-
not.
I'm
You
not
should not
Googling
Google.
that.
Please turn your safe search off. And Google. Come on my friend.
Yeah, we're gonna do hands-on research.
Okay.
We don't
deal.
need Google.
Yeah,
to
we're-
tell us.
yeah, we-
we don't
yeah.
need AI to tell us this.
I just got a new phone. I'll use the old phone to do it.
That's funny.
Grassroots.
But
this
like
one.
the fact that this person is like, I'm gonna report my brother.
Yeah.
And he's also a dermatologist, probably means it's not true.
He's just trying to get more clients.
of course, you would say that.
yeah. You graduated 5 years
Yeah.
before me.
Unbelievable.
A lot of things
Can
changed.
you imagine being with a partner, and this is specifically for Alana because you guys are men, like you don't have the same emotions that we do, but like finding out that they've been like lying to you about something like that
to get you to do it.
As a disgusting pig.
sexually, like that like breaks your heart. And
Yeah,
your
but don't
trust.
you think
disgusting.
most of her like you think I get so he is literally telling these people from like a doctor's perspective.
Yes.
Because like if I was her, I'd be like, oh my god, I can't believe I fell for that.
Right.
But you're saying that he's
believe I fell in
he's
that.
like saying this in a serious.
Yeah.
He's doing it to
tone.
her
Yeah, that's
and
and
also
patients.
telling patients to have their boyfriends do it. That's what he found out.
It's wild.
And you guys think this is hilarious. That's disgusting.
I mean, the context of
Hilarious
it.
and disgusting.
The context of it.
No, it's only hilarious that he got away
That's
with it.
immoral.
No, it's
It is
insane.
immoral. It's
I would assume you could lose your license for it.
Again,
he
you
should.
couldn't lose your license if you were only doing it to your girlfriend and be like,
Right.
babe, I thought you knew.
Right.
And then if you break up, like, he was a pig. And like, sure, yeah, he was a pig. But like telling other random people that like paid money to be there to see you.
like
that-
telling his
yeah.
patients, hey,
He's a pig, but my skin's never looked good. I'll be honest. The pH
I will tell you, I am glowing. I
Yeah.
am glowing. Yeah.
pH is
Yeah.
on point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
on point.
Man.
Gross.
So-
no, you're not the asshole for
Wait.
for
Gross.
What was the title?
Am I the asshole for how I told my brother's girlfriend that sperm doesn't help with acne?
Right.
Wait, what's gross? The fact that he's lying, or
I think that's
lying,
that's the
like-
problem. It's the lying
Not the
part.
other
It's not.
part.
Yeah, it's not the
Not
other
the
parts.
other
It's just the
part.
lying part.
the other
Also, if you have a partner that's not into that, you just have to not be into that too.
Right, exactly. That's a whole different conversation to have.
Yeah.
It's not come from your medical doctor.
Yeah, yeah, a very difficult conversation. Hey, look here.
yeah, that is. I just couldn't imagine you coming in from the doctor saying like, "You're not going to believe this."
Yeah.
You know these pimples I have. And guess what we can do?
Well, it's so funny because like sometimes doctors give you like fun assignments at home. They're like, hey, if you're really pregnant, they're like,
Yeah.
sex
Yeah, right,
can
will help
induce
you. Yep.
labor. So like you have a doctor's note to have sex, right? Because like that's a thing, right?
Right.
They're like, hey, go home and have sex
Right.
and have the baby.
I
And,
love
but-
that you said a doctor's note. Like they actually
yeah,
write it
yeah.
out anymore.
They probably, I'm sure it's
Have
not. Yeah,
sex.
yeah. Doggy style. Like that's, but like to have that, hey, you know what actually helps with this, it's
Right.
and then to go home and be like,
Well, my
Go
psychiatrist.
home. I tried to take it to the pharmacy and get it.
we're not even making all the parking
that
lot if my
prescription
doctor
filled.
tells
Yeah.
if my doctor tells me that.
Do you guys feel this here?
Yeah, yeah.
I was gonna say my psychiatrist did say that anal is really good for depression. So
Really?
I'm her.
See how dumb I am? I
I'm her-
believed you.
I'm her psychiatrist. Yeah. Doctor.
Aren't you on
Meissen.
Zoloft?
he's like, if that Zoloft isn't helping,
Yeah.
try
Zoloft
letting your
and
husband.
anal, who knew?
A side effect of Zoloft.
There's no side effect.
Wow.
Side
Okay.
effect. You're gonna have a great time.
One of us is gonna have a great.
Okay, maybe not great. You're gonna have a good time. You're gonna have an okay time.
You're gonna have a time.
You're gonna have a
Have
time.
a time.
It's not gonna be great.
That's funny. Good story.
All right.
Two great stories.
Yes. Okay. Do we remember the fungal infection name?
Mezzalina.
That's a
Oh, there we go.
molassesea.
Good job. Dude. Okay. Good job, guys. All right. Am I the asshole for telling a mother that having a baby in the passenger seat without a car seat is dangerous?
Oh,
I thought you meant delivering the
Yeah,
baby.
same.
I saw that the other day. Remember we were
Oh,
driving?
yeah. You did see that.
You saw somebody with a baby in the passenger seat?
No,
without a
in
car
the
seat?
driver's seat. Wasn't he in the driver's seat? Like sitting on the dad's lap?
Yep.
No.
Yep.
In the
To
year
be
of
fair, you can't get a DUI if your baby's driving.
really?
How
Yep.
old? How old?
Where were you driving? Or
We
where'd
were
you-
driving to the waterfront in Homestead.
So you were like on the parkway or something? Or
No, we
off-
were
Was that a parking lot?
when you before the Rankin Bridge.
It was a parking lot.
Yeah, it's like a gas
They were
convenience
pulling
store
into
parking
a
lot.
gas station parking
How,
lot.
Yeah.
how old was the kid?
A baby, like diaper baby.
Oh wow.
Terrible.
I was gonna say when the kids were younger, I definitely had them on my lap and drove in a parking lot with them.
like
Yeah.
for fun.
Yeah.
That was also like
no,
the 90s.
no, because I was drunk.
But that was like the 90s, and like people didn't.
Yeah,
like,
right, you could do anything.
You could smoke on planes
That's
almost
fair.
there.
That's fair. We didn't have a seatbelt still.
Yeah.
All right. Wait, I read that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Or
Or
am I the asshole for always dumping lemon on all of my food?
Interesting thing to put on your food.
unless it's like shrimp.
Yeah, or scampi.
All
yeah.
food. All food. Lemon on all food.
Well, yeah, let's do the first one.
All right, let's do
I
the
don't
baby
like
on the.
lemons.
You don't like lemons?
Well, you do the same thing with hot sauce. You
yeah,
put
but
it
that's
on
a
all
pretty normal
food.
topic. It's like pretty normal
The
topic.
on
only
all
time I
food.
ever put lemon on stuff is when I was on like a very intense cleanse, and I was like eating.
Who
a
told you that?
salad
Your dermatologist?
and couldn't have
Oh, yeah.
dressing, so I'd use like a bunch of lemon and,
and
like
vinegar,
stuff.
maybe. Yeah, or
But-
like oil.
Yeah, but like not ranch.
Right.
It's my favorite.
I'm a balsamic guy.
Are you?
I like
Here's the
balsamic.
problem with that. I like balsamic, but Pittsburgh, and I will
Yeah.
fight anyone to the death on this. Pittsburgh has the best ranch dressing options of anywhere
Interesting.
I've ever been in the country.
Well, they can't argue with that because it's your opinion. You know what I mean? So I mean,
But there's like multiple. I have proof.
Yeah, it's proof.
So I just had this conversation with my hairstylist last week, or maybe it was our last time we got together.
Yep.
But she is a ranch connoisseur.
Ranch.
And we must have talked about it for like 20 minutes.
Yes.
interesting.
And she gave me like a list of places
I've
in like
have the
order that
best.
have like
Uh-huh.
number
we-
one ranch, number two
Yeah.
ranch, number like
What's her number one ranch?
I
Just-
forget what it was. Gosh,
Nah.
I can text her.
We do like some good ranch.
Yeah, I've got places, but we're in Pittsburgh, so it's a specific thing. But all I'm saying is
I can text
that's
her
the
when
only
you-
time I didn't. I forgoed the ranch to use lemon, and vinegar and balsamic.
You should
Balsamic's
always,
great.
you should always choose ranch over this.
Always.
Nah, I had a salad with balsamic today.
Nah, that's no good.
I'm a blue cheese dressing person.
I
No,
disagree.
Love
That's
that.
a poor man's ranch.
Yeah, that's a
cheese is trying
rich
to be
man's
ra-
ranch, I think.
It's trying to be ranch, but it's like ranch without
That's an
the
old
flavor.
man's ranch.
It's like
Yeah.
ranch with
Or-
like
They
a
still
foot
call
odor.
it Roford.
I love like a champagne vinaigrette
That's fine.
situation.
Not ranch though. It's not ranch.
No, it's great if you're like trying to like watch your calorie intake, but if you're just looking for
Right.
pure enjoyment, it's ranch.
See, that's ours is hot sauce. Like we're hot sauce, like wings and hot sauce, and then dipping in
All right,
ranch.
you're hot sauce people. We're ranch people.
Yeah, ranch is.
We do ranch too. Wait for wings.
For
But
dipping.
I mean, like the main thing.
No,
The
I
main-
never order a
No.
salad with ranch.
I don't even know who you are anymore.
Unless it's like if it's a buffalo chicken salad, it's going to be blue cheese. Okay.
Gross.
Let's do it.
And I'll find out her favorite ranch.
Can't wait.
Am I the asshole for always dumping lemon on all of my food?
Oh wait, I thought we were doing the other one, or did
No.
I do
That's
that?
the right one, yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Right?
Oh
Yes.
no! Wait,
No,
no,
we
we
were
were
doing
gonna do
the
the
other
other
one.
one. Yeah, we were
I
gonna do
might
the
have
other
went to the
yeah.
wrong one because
Kendall went to the wrong one.
ranch.
Yeah,
I
because
we were talking about ranch. I got excited.
you know what helps if you put ranch in your face.
Is it really good for acne?
It is.
That's what I've
Ranch
heard.
isn't good for anything other than taste. It's bad for
Yeah.
you in
Yeah,
every
it's
other
not
way.
good.
And gaining weight.
Yeah, it's bad in every other way.
Yeah.
Except the taste is delightful.
Okay.
Okay. Am I the asshole for telling a mother that having a baby in the passenger seat without a car seat is dangerous? So I, 24 female, work at Starbs, and yesterday a woman pulled up to the drive-through window with a baby sitting in the passenger seat without a car seat.
Yikes.
I asked her if the baby had a car seat, and she said, yeah, but he was crying when I put him in it.
Oh, okay.
Her drinks were still being made, so I stepped away to calm down. When I handed her the drinks, I said, it's incredibly unsafe and illegal in Ohio to have a baby in the front seat like that. And she just looked pissed and rolled her eyes as she drove away. I was at work, so maybe I should have just kept my mouth shut. That's it.
No.
Yeah, it's
Also, I would have called the police 100%.
Really?
Absolutely.
Well, I think so because had she got an offender bender,
right.
or worst case scenario, the airbags just malfunction in general.
Right.
Like that baby's dead. Like those airbags come out so fast.
I worry about the dogs when I have them on my lap,
Yeah.
and I know that's not a great idea, but it's not illegal.
Right.
But I do worry about that. I wouldn't put your kid in the front seat. I would have
Yeah.
100% called the police.
One of my biggest pet
Yeah.
peeves on people is when they put their feet on the dashboard, because if that comes out like in a collision, like your knees going into your chest, like you're basically dead. Do you do that a lot? Are you feet on the dashboard?
Not
Just don't wreck.
Thanks, Mike. Not a lot, but I do it sometimes. But I've seen a million like TikToks and videos that are like from emergency room doctors.
Just
that are
saw
like,
one today.
Do not do that.
Or when like people like drive with like their passengers their foot out the window.
I don't do that anymore. When we were in the van a lot, I would sometimes be in the front seat and put my feet up.
You were never in the front seat.
Only if the kids were if we're in the car. If it's just me and Mike, I'm in the back sleeping. But like every once in a while I would do that. But I've seen so many videos. I'm like, dang, but it's so comfortable sometimes.
Yeah, I don't even like when like people put like babies on like golf carts. You know what I mean? Like because there's like no safety precaution there, and
Never
like
seen
and
that
again, but babies even at 10 miles an hour, you know what I mean? Like a baby can fall out of a golf cart or
You're
like on a mower. You know what I mean? Like when like
Right.
grandpaps like, and I get that it's just part of growing up, but like
You're assuming there's
it's
not gonna be a
so-
problem.
Yeah, but
But
it's
if
so
there is,
unsafe. Yeah,
It's an
it takes
unnecessary
9
risk.
months to make a new baby.
Yeah.
What would you have done in that situation?
You know, well, I've been guilty of both because I mean, when the kids were like, 5, 6, and you're in the parking lot waiting for someone, and they
Right.
want to, so you do put them on your lap, and they pretend to drive, or they.
But she was
They
in
do
a
it like
drive-through,
that.
so she was about to get back on the
Yeah,
road.
but she was in a parking lot, though. I mean,
But she said the baby was crying in the car seat.
yeah,
so she had the baby
but it
in the
might have
front.
just been for the parking lot.
Could have been.
She was
Just
going to
for the
order
possible.
food,
Drive
pull
through.
That's
over, get the
very
food ready.
possible.
Most likely, I don't see a scenario where she was going to drive down the highway with that baby.
Yeah, it's hard
I
to
think
drive
She
in-
was just doing it for the drive-through.
He's probably right. It's hard
That-
to drive and eat, let alone drive and like hold a child.
Yeah, hold a child, eat, text. Yeah. That's a lot. That's a lot going on. Yeah.
That makes sense.
I don't know that I'd call the police. I don't
Would-
know
is
that.
That
she-
was me saying that.
Yeah.
She did not call the police.
Is she the asshole though? Is the question.
No.
What did she do? She just she said something to the
Yeah.
woman.
The title was "Is she the asshole for reprimanding the woman?"
Yeah.
Yeah. While she's at work.
I don't know. I mean, I guess it doesn't hurt. I mean, if you're doing something that's illegal, and somebody says something, I mean, you got that coming.
Well, I think the other thing too is because like I think she could have felt maybe responsible for something that happened, or she could have been in trouble for serving the lady that with the child out of the car seat. You know what I mean? Like if you see something, say something, right? Like if someone's visibly intoxicated and you serve them a drink at a bar, like that's so like maybe like in that situation.
I don't think she was wrong for saying something.
Right.
I mean, and maybe that mother was at her wit's end with the baby crying, and maybe she needed that. Like, hey,
It's
that's
also fair.
super unsafe. And she was like, yeah, you're right. You know, and like was like annoyed, but also pulled over and put the baby back in the car seat. So maybe she needed to that reminder. It's definitely not the asshole, I don't think, for saying it.
No, I don't think
What did
so
the
either.
baby order?
Ooh, didn't say a pup cup.
And was the baby a good driver?
It was
Yeah.
a pup cup.
It was a pup cup. It was a full cappuccino for the baby. This baby won't stop growing. He hasn't slept in 3 days.
Kendall gets so mad when the dogs are like out the window and like they're not addressed by like the person that works there.
So
She gets
funny.
so mad. Like,
I do.
I
I'm
believe
like,
they didn't say anything.
what's wrong with you? You didn't even comment on how cute my dog is
Yeah.
or say hi to him.
Yeah. Also, well, Stowie's the worst in drive-throughs.
She's mean.
She every time as soon as the voice starts,
Right.
like through the box,
Yeah.
she's barking, and the lady
Super
and the lady's like like every time we go through the drive-through, they're like, "Do you just want to order at the window?" And we're like, "That's way better," but she's also going to be loud there too. But
How
like,
funny.
yeah, I just want to know who has new baby money and Starbucks money. Like who are those people that
a
can
great
afford
question.
$7 Starbucks and a new baby?
Maybe she got a gift card.
Yeah, she saved a lot of money on not buying car seats.
Yeah. So I don't think she's the asshole for saying
No.
something, but I also don't think the mother's that.
She's not
I
the-
don't think she was going to drive down the highway.
I mean, if she wasn't driving down the highway and she's just doing that in the parking lot, I have no issues with that. I do not think that's a terrible mother thing. I don't think it's a big deal.
Right.
If
Yeah.
you're driving with a baby in the front seat, yes.
It's also like crazy, like when you're a little bit older too, and you grew up in a time when there was no car seats.
Yeah.
Like you're a little less
Yeah, right,
sensitized
sure,
to it. Like
sure.
you're like, well, a whole generations of people grew up without car seats,
And
you
without
know, and
seatbelts.
without seatbelts,
Oh, wow. I
without,
didn't
Yeah.
think about
without any rules whatsoever.
Yeah.
You know, like
but their parents were smoking
Smoking
in the
the
front
car.
seat. I think the other thing I think about a lot now that I'm, getting older is like I think about like me being like 16, 17 years old and just being like mad that like my parents wouldn't let me do something, or like I'm an adult, I can do that. And now I look at 16, 17 year olds like I wouldn't trust you at
No,
all
they're
to do
children.
anything.
They're
They're
babies.
children, right? But when you're 16, 17 years old, you don't feel like a child. You feel like I got this all figured out. And it's so crazy because everyone in life always says like, you'll learn when you're older, and then you
Yeah.
do, and you're like, fuck, they were so right,
Mm-hmm.
so right.
This is a Taylor Swift lyric. How can someone know everything at 18 but nothing at 22?
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. That's that old line that says, "When I was 16, I couldn't believe how dumb my parents were. When I was 25, I couldn't believe how much they had learned in the last like 10
Yeah.
years."
Yeah,
It's
It
like,
is
It's
crazy.
not them.
it's not them. No, you're right.
Yeah,
it's
not
so
them that got smarter.
man. It's so wild, man. Like I don't know.
Because you're fully convinced at that age that it's this is different.
This
I know.
is safe. This
yeah,
is fine.
I know what you're talking about.
It's so funny, like just looking back at like just as you get older, like you see things through a different lens, and like you start like looking back. Like we were at a restaurant the other day, and like we'd met at a restaurant, right? So like I see these like waitresses, and like they're having their moment of like being waitresses and like having fun and like going out with their friends after work and things like that. And it's like we were there, you know, and we were there recently in our life, and now it's like we look at it and we're like, I would never leave my house at 9:30. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. It's so fun. It's so
I'm
weird
now.
and fun at the same time to like get old.
It is
Wait,
interesting.
quickly, I have the ranch dressing rankings.
Oh,
Tell
We
us.
wanted them.
We do.
Texas Roadhouse is number 1.
Nope.
Ooh, over their butter.
Disagree.
Their
Honey,
butter.
this
had
is
that. We didn't have
ranch.
that.
We're
Oh,
not
yeah.
talking about
Okay,
buffalo.
fair.
Just ranch.
No, they're butter. They're honey butter.
Okay.
that's good food.
Just ranch. Rosecliff Tavern in Monroeville. Then third is Gateway Grill, also in Monroeville.
Very
Oh,
specific.
I feel like
right.
I feel like she lives close to Monroe.
She lives in she lives in Greensburg.
Oh, interesting.
Drives into the big city.
Yeah.
Because you can't get through the tunnel.
Yeah, Monroeville is a
Tunnels are the
place
worst.
sucks.
If you go into Pittsburgh, don't go through the tunnels. All right. We ready for another one?
Boom.
Yeesh.
Okay. Am I the asshole for wanting a photo at my wedding with only my bride and our biological parents without my stepmom? Or am I the asshole for finding out that I've been unknowingly paying rent to my husband and his mother for 2 years?
I can't see how that would start a fight.
That's weird. You pick.
The rent one.
Okay.
Paying rent unknowingly.
It's a
Yeah,
weird...
so it sounds
They
like
own
he had
the
a separate.
place,
Yeah,
they
he had a
didn't
separate
know.
account. It's like, no, we're both paying for this, and then she was the only one providing to it. I could be wrong.
They already own it.
Maybe. All right. Am I the asshole for finding out that I've been unknowingly paying rent to my husband and his mother for 2 years? I, 31 female, have been married to Brian, 33 male, for 2 years. Right after the wedding, we moved into an apartment that he said was a great deal from a family friend. We agreed to split the rent and utilities 50-50 to keep things equal.
With him and with his Brian and the wife.
Brian and the wife.
Okay.
We agreed to do the 50-50 to keep things equal since we were starting fresh and we wanted to avoid any money fights. So I have been sending him $700 a month for the rent portion this entire time. 3 days ago at a barbecue, I overheard his mom talking about how it's really nice getting rent from Brian's place and how smart they were to keep it in the family. It turns out...
So they own a condo.
Yeah.
And they're acting like it's an apartment that they're renting.
And he's not paying anything.
Right. They're just-
He's just telling her to pay. Oh,
Turns out his mom owns the apartment and Brian's name is also on the deed. And I had no idea. He never told me. He just kept letting me pay rent for 2 years like a clueless roommate. When I confronted him, he said that I never asked. And that I'm overreacting because we're not actually overpaying. It's a really good deal. I feel completely blindsided because it's not just the money, it's the secrecy.
Right.
I told him that I will not be paying until we talk about a fair setup, and now he's acting like I'm the problem. So am I the asshole?
They're married.
Yeah.
2 years. They've been married for 2 years.
No, the asshole.
Yeah, it's
Real
weird.
sketch.
Yeah, because it's not even like a problem if they own a condo and they're charging her.
the mom's charging
The mom's
them rent,
charging,
yeah.
yeah.
The
like
mom's charging them both, or
Right.
like they're doing
like
it split. Sure.
like a hey, it's $1,500, and
Right.
like who's to say the mom's ever collecting from her son in the
Right.
first place? But like, yeah,
But yeah, to be in the dark about it.
Well, yeah,
would
'cause
be
Brian-
the offensive part. What you-
Brian is also keeping he's just keeping
Yeah.
it from her.
Yeah, like
Right.
Brian's not paying any money.
Right.
He's
Right.
just taking the money from his wife.
he's giving that to the
To his
mom.
mom, yeah, because the mom said she's getting the rent, so like he's not even keeping the money; he's giving it to the mom. And although he's on the mortgage with her, but he said, because she said it's nice that I'm getting rent from this.
My
apartment.
guess is that Brian is only sending the $700 from his wife to his mom, and that his
Right.
mom is saying
That's
it's nice
enough.
to get some money.
Right?
Yeah, just tell her that, and yeah, like I don't know, because it's not weird that they're charging her
No.
if the mom owns it, but it's weird that she's the only one that didn't know that.
It's weird that she didn't know that she's
Right.
living in a place that her husband's parents own.
Also fair. I wonder, like, how did they set it up? Like, hey, let's go check this apartment out.
Yeah, right,
And
yeah.
they're like walking through, like, what do you think? And your mom really was excited about us renting this place. Like,
He
really-
told her it was a great deal from a family friend.
Oh, this is
That's
Yeah.
this is really
Yeah.
not.
hey, you know what? They saved a money fight for 2 years, but they're about to have a way bigger
Yeah.
fight right now.
Seriously.
super easy solution. And once the lease is up, which
30 years?
yeah,
30 year-
is
30 year
right now.
mortgage?
I mean, just find another place to live. See what the husband does.
Oh.
You know,
I think it's a way bigger fight that's about to occur.
I do too.
You can't
100%.
just be like, oh yeah, you can take advantage of me for 2 years. And that'd be like if we said we split utilities, but instead of buying groceries, you just kept my money.
Right. And it's like, here's the thing. If he doesn't sound apologetic.
No,
Like, it's not like
his
he's-
excuse was you didn't ask.
Well, he's
Right.
He's
Like,
the
that's
he's the landlord, to be fair.
Yeah, wouldn't that have been some shit if something broke? He'd be like, who do we call? My mom?
His phone rings.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. Hey, I gotta
Okay,
take this.
yeah.
I gotta take this. Hold on a second. I gotta take
The
this.
garbage disposal.
Yeah.
What?
I'll send somebody over.
He goes in here while he's on the phone.
Yeah.
That is.
I love this guy's reasoning though. He's gonna
Yeah.
be a great husband. He's like, babe, of course I cheated on you, but you didn't ask.
Yeah,
so
right.
I didn't feel like I had
Divorce is
to.
what I
I didn't feel like I had to
think.
tell you. I
You
didn't.
knew.
Yeah.
You knew. That's
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
So our other roommate, she's gonna pay $750 a month.
You mean your sister?
Man, could you imagine getting taken advantage of like that in a situation with a person you're not only in a relationship with, because like boyfriend, girlfriend, that kind of shit can happen, and like
Right.
those relationships are so fragile.
And your in-laws. Like you've been
Yeah.
like a kind of
Also
like a
fair.
sucker, like in front of everybody that you.
But to be fair, the in-laws might not have known,
It doesn't sound like the mom knew that
or she would have
didn't
said
know.
that.
Because she just mentioned it in passing. If
Like-
she was like in on the secret, she probably wouldn't have said it.
Right. No, you wouldn't have said anything there unless you were trying to start a fight and break
I didn't
them
even
up.
put that together.
So like you think about it, like so she's just like, hey, it's nice to get some money from that apartment. It's nice that they moved in, even though he's on the mortgage, like they're still paying for something. And he was like,
yeah.
Also,
Yeah, I'm
we
sure it's nice for that
Yeah.
mortgage company.
How many apartments do you own, Mom?
we don't know that how much. So like, let's say she's
Sure.
giving him $700 a month for rent. He might be only giving his mom
500 and keeping
exactly
200.
and just keeping it and not telling her.
That's called a FanDuel account. $200 a month, they're FanDuel, baby.
Brian's an asshole.
Yeah,
That's
that's
for sure.
Yeah, it is weird. Yeah,
So-
because she's gonna feel taken advantage of no matter what, even
Right.
if it's a good deal.
100%.
I think trust is probably the most important thing in any relationship, especially a marriage. And if you feel like you got like bamboozled in some way by something,
It's
a mic word.
a great word.
it's a mic word. Like I can't imagine what that does to your
Yeah,
trust.
nobody wants to
with
be
that person.
hoodwinked.
Nobody wants to be hoodwinked.
We should do
Old timey phrases. What was the title of that again?
Am I the asshole for finding out that I've been unknowingly paying rent to my husband and his mom for 2 years?
It'd be great if they named movies like this, like
Yeah.
they do Reddit stories. Like it was just the description is the entire. It's like 20. It's a full sentence.
just boat sinks in 1914.
Who's the
I like Titanic
asshole?
better. I'm gonna be
Yeah.
honest. I like Titanic. Am I the? It's written from the iceberg. Am I the asshole for sinking this guy's new boat?
Yeah, that's a weird story. Because I mean, there's also the chance that it's a super swanky, nice place, and she's underpaying for like a night, like a
But that
$2,000
doesn't
apartment.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Situation.
Right, it's the secrecy.
I could look past it if I was getting a $2,000 value for $700. I'd look past it.
Really.
I don't know because again,
I'd
we,
lick those
we
wounds
don't.
and be like,
it's
"All right."
it's the fact that like again, I think that you're right. His mom doesn't know that she's not the wife's not in on this too.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the fact of the matter is like the husband is being real sketchy. And if you're 2 years into marriage and starting to pull shit like that, it's only gonna get worse.
Yeah.
It has to. It
Yeah, I
can't
didn't
get
start
better.
pulling shit like that till like 7 years. 7. No, that is a weird.
Oh,
yeah,
Kendra
it's
doesn't know
weird.
you own your house?
It would be the best
shit.
surprise ever.
That would be a good surprise.
I'd be like, yay!
I've been saving all that money,
I don't
babe.
even care.
Mike's like, I haven't
on
been saving
hookers
any of it. I haven't been saving any of that money.
He's
I've
looking
been.
on
I
what my
blew it on
FanDuel
hookers
account.
and cocaine.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's what do you do in that situation? Like trust is the most important piece of a
man.
relationship, and I think like any lie is like a bad lie. Like you know what I
Right.
mean? Like unless it's like a no, babe,
The
whatever.
problem
like
is he
stupid
doesn't
one, but
seem apologetic.
not at all.
That's the issue.
A
here.
hundred
Wait,
percent.
what if it really is like a $2,000?
Yeah, but the fact of the matter is
apartment?
like his response was, "You didn't ask."
You didn't ask.
That's a problem.
That's his vibe.
That attitude's
about
a
it.
Yeah, but what I'm saying that what if
Right.
she's paying $700 for a $2,000 apartment? He's like, hey, you didn't ask. I didn't want you to know. I didn't want you to think that we were getting. My mom was taking care of us. Like they're getting like a great value for it.
She thinks she's paying half, so it should have been. It should be a $1,400
But,
month
but
place.
I'm saying, like, what if it's a $2,000? I'm just devil's advocate.
I know. No, I don't think it's okay still.
No, I think the fact of the matter is like, yeah, you can't like, again, we like once you're married, like finances kind of become
Yeah.
one. It's not my money, it's not your money. Like when Alana's like, I'll pay for dinner. It's like, it's our money. It's
Right,
like,
right.
Somebody from our household's paying for dinner tonight.
Right,
Like it doesn't matter
right.
who's it. Like here's the card. Just you know.
And
what I
do
mean?
we
Like,
know the mom only wants $700 a month, like for it? And
We don't know. I don't even
is
think
he
she-
paying $700 as well. Do we
No,
know?
No.
I doubt it. It seems like
What if it's $1,400 rent? Would you feel different if they just were paying the rent?
No.
He just didn't tell her
No.
who.
I would feel different if there was proof that they were both paying the rent.
Yeah,
Right.
that's what I mean.
And the only thing that was not known to her was that her mom owned it.
Okay, that's fair.
I would feel different
There's
about
a
that.
chance that that's the case, though.
There's a chance, but I doubt it. It doesn't seem. Brian doesn't seem like
You don't know Brian like I do.
like
Brian's a little savvier than you giving him
he
credit
doesn't seem
for.
like a real forthcoming
because
kind of guy.
the way but to Mike's point, the way that he said you didn't ask makes me think like you didn't ask who owned the property. You just asked you
they're
didn't
just
ask that
paying
she owned it.
$1,400 rent.
If they're both paying $700 a month, I do change my tone. I don't think there's any problem with that. If you're bamboozling your wife out of $700 to just appease your mom, that's an issue.
She thinks you're paying that, and you're just spending that on your own stuff. Yeah. I think we need to know if he's paying or not.
We need to know if she was
We need
bamboozled.
to know.
Yeah.
That's really the key here.
Can you reach out to her?
Yes.
And see if he was also paying $700
Yes.
a month, because that's going to determine if he's the
It
asshole.
really
if
is,
he's the
right.
asshole.
I think this is pending.
I'm going to ask all the
pending.
questions.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask about
How long
is
it's been in the family? Do they
all
still have a
those things-
mortgage?
Yeah, tell him he's asshole pending right now.
asshole pending.
She is.
Wait.
No, she's not
No,
an asshole.
She
No,
said, "Am I
he-
the asshole for?"
Right. But we think she's, not,
not
the
at
asshole
all.
regardless.
Because she deserves an explanation.
Mike's
yeah.
just trying to give a little bit of credit.
Yeah, I think she
to
deserves an
Brian.
explanation at least.
Yeah.
She's not the asshole at all.
No.
He potentially is. But like you said, if he is paying it,
Then yeah, who's it matter? Who's it going to?
Right.
Right. You know,
That's,
like so you're still letting even when you rent off a family member, you're still entitled to pay rent
Right.
to that place,
Right.
Unless your dad's letting you buy $4,000.
yeah, just because your mother-in-law owns it, right? You're not.
Right.
It doesn't mean you live there for free.
I'm going to reach out to that girl's dad too and ask if she was letting his credit card.
What kind of boots is she wearing right now?
Yeah.
What
Knock, knock.
what do you think, Lon?
tie them all together.
I think he's the asshole. She's
For keeping it a secret?
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Any secret in a marriage, I feel like is
No, some of them are.
Although
good.
I
Some
do-
of them are way better that I don't
Yeah.
tell Kendall everything.
Although I do think Alana's right too, though. Like even if it's your mom's place, your wife should still know that.
100%,
You know,
I
like
think
that's a
that's
weird thing to
weird.
not
weird,
know.
yeah.
Yeah, most likely there's a shady reason
That's
he
the
didn't
thing.
tell her.
I think there's a
I'm not.
reason
I'm
she
not
didn't
thinking
know.
that he's most likely not.
And is
guilty
he
of that.
not telling her it's his mom's place because like maybe he can't get his own place for whatever reason?
Well,
like,
he's on the mortgage too.
He's
So
on the-
yeah, he's on the mortgage there.
That's what I'm saying. He's like getting equity, and she said his name is on the
Okay,
deed of
but
the house.
let me. To be fair,
Uh-oh.
say like you're with. Say like you guys
were together.
when you were together though. Say like you already owned
We
this
already
place,
right.
Wait, what?
and say like you had already paid most of it off.
Okay.
And there might be a part of you that's like, well, you know, we're in a first year of marriage. She's now stepping into, she gets half the
$100,000 of
value,
equity,
right,
yeah,
of all
right.
this. Maybe she should pay,
Right, but
So
should
that's what I'm
he
saying,
be
that maybe he
dishonest about it?
right, but maybe it was an uncomfortable conversation to be
Nope.
like, hey,
Nope.
I bought this condo
Marriage.
with my mom.
Nope.
You
we
should-
paid it
No.
off. I don't know how to ask you to pay and what
See,
I'm not
Nope.
paying.
I think
disagree.
if
You're
you
married.
Doesn't
if you
matter.
move in with somebody and you decide to split bills, split
Right.
bills like
He's already paid for this.
I know,
though.
I know, but
you
he
can't
hasn't,
split
but-
some that's already paid for.
But he hasn't clearly. But I'm saying like in my situation, if she moves in here, I still have a mortgage on it.
Right.
And I'm like, hey, now that you're living here, like, do you want to like
Right.
we'll go
say
half
you had it
whenever-
paid off though.
Yeah.
Say
No,
you
if I had it
owned
paid off, I
this.
wouldn't ask her for.
Why
any
would he
money.
ask her for rent?
Because they've been married for 6 months.
Okay, but-
he owns this.
This isn't.
He's paid it off. He's
dating.
worked his ass off to pay it off.
That's not dating. It's a
Wait, you're saying if
marriage.
Jarek owned this house,
Yeah.
There's,
he would
Right.
still
Charge
he
you
should
rent.
charge me rent?
because I have like
you guys apparently don't watch too many Netflix stories and see how 90% of marriages don't work
Oh,
out.
I get it.
I mean,
I-
but you guys know like 60% of marriages end in divorce.
Yeah.
So this guy's paid for this, and now you're
Yeah,
thinking that
but-
he's wrong for wanting her to pay a little bit into it?
No, but
we
to-
think
yes.
he's wrong for him not telling her the
Right.
truth
Because the
about it.
truth is, she's going to be like, well, you already own it. Why would I pay for it? He's like, because
I think-
pay into it a
And
little bit.
but I do
I've been
think,
busting
too-
my ass paying for the last 20 years where you were partying and you have bad credit. No, I'm just saying, and
know.
it
I
could
love the
be though.
scenario. I'm
It
just
could
laughing
be.
at it.
But to be fair, if you have that much, like if you've worked that hard, you paid something off, prenup. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that's
That's
a way
fair.
that's a
That's
way better
fair.
situation.
Yeah,
than,
fair.
like,
that goes over about as well as telling her that, yeah, I own it, but I want you to pay rent.
well, I think the other thing too is like if she's not on the mortgage,
Right.
Like if you own the deed outright, that's not just she doesn't just get half of that. Like you know what I mean? Like because like if
course she does.
if I get a divorce, she
If
doesn't.
you get divorced,
she
and,
doesn't get half my student loan debt.
no, but if you got divorced, and even if she wasn't on there and you owned it, she's getting half of it.
If I sell it,
Yeah,
she ain't get just half the value of it.
she's getting half the value
you
of
get
it
divorced?
whenever you sell it.
Pennsylvania is a no-fault state. If you
Yeah.
get divorced, she
She-
gets half everything unless
You
sign a-
you either give her that money or you either buy her out or you sell it then.
Yeah.
Well, stop
You owe her
marrying
half
people that
the
you want
money.
to divorce.
You
Yeah,
owe,
I know. Fair,
you owe her half the money day one.
Yeah.
Fork
So-
it over.
Yeah.
So I'm
we
just
bought
saying,
this house together, Alana.
Lana and I
Right.
are setting ourselves up.
But that's what I'm saying. Had he
Yeah.
paid for the last 10 years, paid it off, worked his ass off, paid it off, and he's like, hey, me and my mom bought this.
Okay, right.
I want her to pay a little bit into it. I don't know. I
I
need
think
more
you're-
information.
I'm
You're-
saying she's not the asshole because of the way that was proposed her.
Right.
She had no idea
Right.
that it was being
There's no easy way to have that conversation. There's no easy way to word that. He's not. I still need more information. I'm not
This
going to
is
say
so
he's the
great.
asshole.
I love this. I love this.
yeah.
the
I mean,
I
this is
love that Mike is so
Asshole pending.
asshole pendant.
I'm gonna say she's not the asshole, and he's probably the asshole.
Do you guys
probably.
think that Mike owns a house somewhere that I don't know about? Is that what this is all about?
Well, did you sign a prenup? Because if you didn't sign a prenup, no, I don't think he does.
No, I don't.
All right, let us
No,
know.
I'm just saying that I can see a scenario.
I just think like once you get married, it's all connected.
Me too. I feel
right?
like
Because
everything's
it's like
way-
there's way more dishonest people than you guys are
Yeah,
naively
but
believing.
again, like you shouldn't. You got to. Of
course you shouldn't, but that's what
Marry the
happens.
right person. You gotta,
Well, yeah,
like,
but nobody knows that. When people get divorced, it's not like they're like, "Well, I didn't think I married the right person."
Right, right.
They
Right.
everybody thinks they married the right person.
I understand that completely.
So I'm saying that he's, him and his mom spent the last 10 years working their asses off
Yeah.
to pay for that condo, and then he gets married day one. She now has half right to that. Well, I don't know if the mom's on it too. She has a third of the right to that, and she should pay into it. I don't have a problem with that.
Hey, good news
If that's
is,
the case.
Good news is this podcast is completely free, whether you're married or not. And we appreciate you for being here. I have a feeling that's not going to go over well in the comments. Mike's
I
like,
can't wait.
she should be paying for that
I
stuff.
can't
I
wait.
disagree.
I know. I'm just saying.
I don't think he's wrong for saying that.
No,
Yeah, I don't-
No,
I disagree, but I don't think he's
I
wrong.
think he's wrong for saying a lot of things. No, yeah.
Wait,
But
what
this-
do you disagree with, though? I don't understand what you even disagree with. If you bought a place
this
and then we
podcast
moved
is off
in,
the rails right now.
I'll drop it. But if we moved in,
Yeah.
you don't think that you would be like annoyed if we got divorced a month later and I now got half of that?
Right. My point is, I wouldn't lie about it to you. We're getting married. I
I
wouldn't
think that's
lie
the
about
issue.
it.
Is
It's an
that-
awkward conversation to have.
Okay. Guess what?
Not with a marriage partner.
That's my point. My
Maybe.
point is the deceit and the lying. I'm not saying he's not entitled to say,
But
look.
what's it, if she
you
has to
did
pay
this.
$700 either way? What's the difference? She should pay to live somewhere. Why does it matter?
What, that he didn't tell her?
She's only paying $700 rent. What's the difference if it goes to a mortgage company or to
Well, I
his
think
mother?
that's the issue. Is that he didn't tell her where it was going.
Again, it's the deceit.
Yeah.
Is it?
Oh,
Is it?
guys, I'm gonna lie to Mike all week, and I'm not gonna tell him. I'm gonna tell you only, and then
I
when we get back here next
disagree.
time, you can be like, "Hey, Mike, what'd you think about that?"
Welcome back to Toxic Partners in the Basement.
I think you guys are. I think you guys
toxic.
are gonna.
That's
think
our
it-
after show.
Yeah.
Toxic partners in the basement.
You guys are gonna rethink this one later. I think you're gonna be like, I see what he's saying.
All right. To be fair, you can tell us what
chance.
you think right down there in the comments because
Please.
this podcast is free whether you're married or divorced or dating or in a relationship or your mom owns the podcast. It's still free because we have been Bad Potato Salad.
You've been served, Mike.
You've been served.
Woo!